What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Brian Watkins, and welcome to another edition of the Brian Watkins channel. My subject today is 5 signs that you're dating a black female narcissist and how to leave her for good. The reason why I'm making this video is for those who may slightly believe that something just ain't right in their relationship with this black female, because she could be a narcissist. Let's get started. Now, one thing that I've learned about black female narcissists is this. Fellas, just for a moment, ask yourself, are you dating a black female narcissist? In extreme cases, it's not too hard to identify if you are. Ask yourself, do they talk about themselves constantly? I mean, nonstop. Or when a black female sees that you're, for an example, black female sees you wearing sunglasses, and she's looking at the reflection of herself and not you, that's a narcissist. Now, as I promised, I'm going to share with you the 5 signs to clearly identify if you're dating a black female narcissist. And there's a lot of them too. I learned that. Okay, the first sign, when you express to a black female narcissist, she gets defensive. For an example, why? Because a black female narcissist, their needs come first. It's not about you. They don't care at all about that. Excuse me, and they never will. They have a hard time hearing you express what's important to you, especially if you're addressing how a black female narcissist, black female fuckery is affecting you in the most negative ways. And if you don't believe me, listen to the song by the late Marvin Gaye. The song is called I Want You. That song is about dating a female narcissist. Because did you ever notice there was never a follow-up to that song? You know, a lot of times when a song is a hit record, for an example, remember the song Roxanne, Roxanne by UTFO? How many rappers made a career out of that? Roxanne Shante, The Real Roxanne, Sparky D, right? It came back saying all this stuff, that I'm the real Roxanne and Roxanne's grandmother, all this stuff. And I'm saying that to say this. Did you notice that even today, there was never a follow-up on that song, ever? Because if you listen to the lyrics carefully, he said, this one-way love is just a fantasy. And the whole song is him pleading with her to want him the same way that he wants her. Never a part 2. Never. And I'm saying that to say this. When you're dealing with a black female narcissist, that's pretty much how it is. Like I said, I'm going to share not only I've shared one sign, and I'm going to share with you how to handle it before I continue to share the other 4. And when you're faced with a situation like that with a black female narcissist, the most logical way to handle it, be alert the first time that it happens, address it, and see how she responds to it. If she still can't set priorities to your needs and respect you, it's impossible to build a relationship like that with a person like that. It's hopeless to try. Just walk away. And I got a real good friend that's going through that same thing. I mean, I feel sorry for him, but just won't listen. You can't change a narcissist. Now, let's go to the next sign. Sign number 2. And that is, when the going gets tough, a black female narcissist gets going. And what I mean by that is a black female narcissist can't handle the pressure of your real emotional life. She will probably shut down in order to protect her own emotions and have nothing to give you. And a good relationship is built on mutual support. This person will not be there for you in tough times. They won't. It's just not a part of their being. Now, how to handle something like that? Leave now before it gets harder. Because, see, why I say that, narcissists specialize in the beginning of the relationship. I call it love bombing. Love bombing is they're praising you, telling you that she's the most luckiest person to be with you and things of that nature. And really, they're just really excellent, sweet charmers. Okay. But when things go wrong, and they will, especially when you're dealing with a black female narcissist, she's not going to be there for you. No, that's not a part of her plan. Like I said, it's almost just watch the nature of a snake. Snakes don't share with no damn body, do they? They eat the whole thing. They so greedy that they just eat everything in one chunk. And that's a black female narcissist as well. Now we're going to move to number 3. The third sign that are you dating a black female narcissist? When a black female narcissist feels hurt, they don't feel sad. They rage. And what I mean by that is if you express that you're upset with something that a black female narcissist has said or did to you, they will rage at you and will not take responsibility for their actions. They won't. They change the subject, say that it's all your fault. I didn't do nothing like that. I've seen it many a times. This is a recipe for a disaster for a relationship, because a healthy relationship is one which will both parties take full ownership of their contributions. The best way to handle it, if they refuse to not do what you have brought to their attention to correct it so that it's mutual, leave. That's the only way to protect yourself, because when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with someone that has no empathy at all. And they'll discard you when they're done with you, because to them it's all about the supply. That person that you are dating, that was just an illusion. Excuse me. That was just an act to capture and confiscate your emotions, your heart, your money, so that they can manipulate it to what they wanted from you when they first saw you. So what I'm going to do is you're going to have to tune in for part 2 on the 5 signs you're dating a black female narcissist and how to leave her for good. See, there's a lot of narcissism in society, but the black female, she's the worst. Why? Because she's never puts herself in a situation to be held accountable for her narcissist actions towards dating men, especially black men. I've even had a few white men tell me about that, black female narcissists are just straight up poisonous and they don't date them anymore. And I said, wow, they've resorted to you all. But it's just like anything else. Again, taking the nature of a snake. You can bathe a snake. If a snake is sick, you can take them to get the necessary medicine they need to bring them back to superior health. And as soon as you turn your back, you can feed them and everything. And as soon as you turn your back, still strike you when you expect not a strike. Why? Because they're a snake. And that's the same thing with the black female narcissist. It's the exact same set of characteristics. So tune in for part 2 of the 5 signs to tell if you're dating a black female narcissist and how to leave her for good. So subscribe to my channel for 2 reasons. I make videos constantly and I'm running a contest where you can win cash and prizes, but you got to hit that red button because I'm going to use previous videos and I will mention a certain phrase in the video and I'll even tell you the title because I want you to win. And you just got to fill in the blank. But you can't do that unless you hit that subscribe button. Those of you who like my channel, click that you do, and I appreciate your support. Those who don't like my channel, you can click that you don't, and you know I got that famous word for all you haters out there towards me, and that is, you think you're hotter than me, that just means I'm cooler than you. Get down. And also, you can leave your comments and requests for certain videos, and also continue to support the Brian Watkins channel by making a donation to the link in my description box. Don't you go anywhere.